What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Manny Pacquiao. Who will he fight next? Bob Arum has come out recently and said that he's in negotiations with Team Pacquiao to stage a fight between him and Terrence Bud Crawford, one of the pound-for-pound fighters in boxing. He says it will be a good fight. You know, he said based on Manny Pacquiao's last performance against Keith Thurman, it's a fight that could go either way. It's a true 50-50 fight. Now, about a month ago, Eddie Hearn, a.k.a. Eddie the Con Artist, said that he was looking to negotiate a fight between Manny Pacquiao against Mikey Garcia. That was fresh out from Mikey Garcia win over Jesse Vargas. Eddie Hearn said he would be looking to stage that fight in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia put up a huge site fee for Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, the rematch. So he'd be looking to go down that same avenue to get a big fight set up with Pacquiao versus Garcia. Now, the question at hand is, what is Manny Pacquiao's status with the PBC? You know, some people saying that he's got one fight left. Other people are saying he don't have any fight left. So that'll go a long way in determining who Manny Pacquiao fights next. Now, if he stays with the PBC, at the top of the list will be Errol Spence Jr. But from what I'm hearing, I don't think Errol's going to get that fight next. I think Errol's next fight is going to be against Danny Garcia. The president of the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, came out and determined that Danny Garcia is the mandatory for Errol Spence's WBC title. So Errol Spence will have to fight him next or risk getting stripped of the belt, and Danny Garcia will fight somebody else for the vacant belt. Don't think Errol Spence will be willing to go down that road of losing a belt, especially a belt he just picked up in a hard-fought win over Sean Porter. So he'll be looking to defend that belt against Danny Garcia. So let's just take Errol Spence out of the equation. And this just leaves two fighters, Mikey Garcia and Terrence Bud Crawford. Now, Terrence Crawford is obviously a tougher fight. If you're looking at matchmaking point of view, he needs to fight Mikey Garcia. That's a much more winnable fight. The guy's a smaller guy moving up to welterweight. The guy doesn't have the skill set of a Terrence Crawford. He can fight. He can box. A very good counter puncher. Very good fighter as far as timing. He's one of the best timing fighters in boxing. He's got a very high boxing IQ, Mikey Garcia. Got a good jab and good uppercut, good combination puncher. He's got a good way of controlling the distance in the ring. But the thing about Mikey Garcia is he does everything good but nothing great. And that's the difference between him and Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is an elite level boxer, elite level boxing IQ, and an elite level puncher, and quiet as kept, an elite level phone booth fighter. He can brawl. You know, sometimes it's to his detriment because he can easily win fights by outboxing guys. You know, and winning boring unanimous decision win. But he likes to make the fight exciting. He likes to bring the fight to a lot of his fighters. And sometimes that leads him successful to get caught with shots. Therefore, you've seen Terrence Crawford hurt in multiple fights. Yorkers Gamboa fight, he got hurt in that fight. He got hurt in the Green Machine fight with Kavaliauskas. He got hurt in that fight against a lesser fighter in Kavaliauskas. If Terrence Crawford would have chose to box, he could have boxed circles around Kavaliauskas. But he was trying to put on an entertaining show. That fight came after the Heisman Trophy ceremony, so he had a lot of eyeballs on watching that fight. And he wanted to put on an entertaining fight for the fans, and that's what he did. But he's one of the best skillful technicians in boxing today, and he would cause a lot of problems for Manny Pacquiao. But would he want to brawl with Manny Pacquiao? Would he want to make it a phone booth fight to show Pacquiao that he can mix it up with Pacquiao? Because Pacquiao will be coming in that fight with a lot of experts saying that Pacquiao is the harder puncher. He's got the power. He's got Crawford would have to box him and stay away and stay safe and box and use his reach and use his legs to outbox Manny Pacquiao. Terrence Crawford would hear that and say, okay, I'm going to show you guys that I got just as much power as Manny Pacquiao. Y'all worry about Manny Pacquiao hurting me. Y'all need to worry about me hurting Manny Pacquiao. And Terrence Crawford is just the type of guy that will go in that ring and just to prove a point that he's the hard hitter. He can back Manny Pacquiao up. Don't be surprised if you see Manny Pacquiao backing up, not Terrence Crawford backing up. So that will make for an entertaining fight, and that will give Pacquiao a chance to land some shots to hurt Terrence Crawford and change the tide of that fight. So that would be an interesting fight. Now I think what the tipping point for this fight is the promoters. You got Bob Arum and you got Eddie Hearn. Bob Arum has a lot of connections in the United States. He's well connected. And if he's he was able to get that deal with ESPN. He was a fish out of water for a while. He had fell out of favor with HBO and Showtime. And he was looking for a place to land, and he was able to negotiate a big time contract with ESPN, and it actually has enhanced his company, Top Rank Boxing, which looked like it was it was on the downside, and he was able to kind of resurrect his company, so to speak. It seemed like it was on the downside at a point, and he's right back up there as far as the top promotional company in the United States, along with Al Heyman and the PBC. Now, Bob Arum is well connected in the United States, and he says if I can get a site fee, I will be willing to put on Terrence Crawford versus Manny Pacquiao. Now, Manny Pacquiao asking price is $20 million minimum. Whoever comes up with the $20 million is gonna get Manny Pacquiao. So that's what Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum are faced with. Can they guarantee Manny Pacquiao $20 million minimum? Whoever one of those guys can guarantee Manny Pacquiao $20 million minimum first, I think they get Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao, at this point in his career, he's been out the ring since the Keith Thurman fight, which was early to middle part, not early, but in the middle part of 2019. I think wasn't it July or whatever it was? It was spring, summer of 2019. So he's been out the ring for a while. He's looking to get into a big fight. He's very hungry to get back in the ring, and he's ready to get into a big, high-profile fight. And he wants to make the highest amount possible. Manny Pacquiao is a guy that gives a lot back to the community in the Philippines. He gives to a lot of the homeless, a lot of the people that's not well off. He's very charitable with his money, and he has a huge entourage. That's people that he's that's I ain't gonna say they leeches, I ain't gonna say they bloodsuckers, but people not hanging around him for free. Let's put it that way. So that's a lot of mouths to feed, a lot of hands that need money put in them. And Manny Pacquiao needs to get back in that ring and fight, and he needs to be in a high-profile fight. He knows that he wants at least $20 million, and he can't get $20 million fighting an average fighter. He's got to fight the top of the line fighters in the welterweight division, and that entails Terrence Bud Crawford and Mikey Garcia. So we'll see what happens, man. But if I had to give the edge, I had to give it to Bob Arum, man. He's a little bit more well connected in the U.S. He seems like he'll be able to get that site fee lined up, a huge site fee lined up. Therefore, be able to pay Manny Pacquiao what he'll want in a fight with Terrence Bud Crawford. And I think he has the inside track to get the fight made with Manny Pacquiao. Now, Eddie Hearn. Now he has he's talking about Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia paid a huge site fee for Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, and they'll pay a huge site fee for Manny Pacquiao versus Mikey Garcia. And the problem with that is when you put a fight over there in Saudi Arabia, it's going to lack buzz here in the United States. And the problem is any fight involving Manny Pacquiao, you want to put it on a pay-per-view model. You wanted to have the buzz that attract people in the United States to put their money up and buy it on pay-per-view. Now, if it's on with Eddie Hearn and Mikey Garcia to be on an app, but like I say, you put it on the app and you put it over there in Saudi Arabia, it's just not as big as if he fight Manny Pacquiao and it's on ESPN pay-per-view. It's just not. Even though the subscriptions will go up, especially with the Latino community, the subscription will go up with a Mikey Garcia and Manny Pacquiao fight. Mikey Garcia and Manny Pacquiao have a huge following in the Latino community, plus the Filipino community, plus the general boxing fans in general that's followed Manny Pacquiao throughout his career. They'll be buying that app to watch that fight and stuff like that. But putting it over there in Saudi Arabia, it just will not have the buzz. It won't have the promotion of a big, powerful sports company like ESPN will have behind a potential Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Bud Crawford fight. Just look at the Fury Wilder fight. Look at the kind of promotion they got on ESPN, man. Huge promotion. It was a big buzz going into that fight, man. Everybody was excited about that fight. That fight hadn't been that much buzz about a fight between two heavyweights since Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson that took place in Memphis, Tennessee. Barbecue City, Memphis, went down there at the Pyramid when Lennox Lewis stopped Mike Tyson to retain his heavyweight titles. So I think that's gonna be something that Manny Pacquiao will consider. You know, the lack of buzz. Like I say, even the Anthony Joshua Andy Ruiz fight, you know, the rematch, you know, it just lacked the buzz. First of all, the fight took place in the middle of the day here in the United States. It took place around about like 5 o'clock. I remember walking into Hooters to watch that fight. And it was packed. They had a nice little crowd in there, you know, watching it and stuff like that. But it's not the same, man. You're going in there at nighttime, watching the fight, get your drinks on, eating wings. You know, you got eye candy there. You know, it's just a different atmosphere, a different buzz, man. If you go in there during the middle of the day, you're like, man, hey, it's like 5 o'clock. You know, I might eat me a few wings, this and that, and go back home and chill out a little bit, man. But it just doesn't have the same buzz, you know, that fight would if it was in Saudi Arabia. If fight be in the middle of the day, it be on the app, it won't get the promotion that a fight with a Terrence Crawford get on, but behind the strong arm promotion of ESPN. Just would not be the same. So, man, Pacquiao's got to take all that into account. If everything being equal as far as monetarily, both guys offer you $20 million, you might look at the Garcia fight if it's the more winnable fight if you're looking for that. But if you're looking at the fight that's going to bring you more recognition and more eyeballs to the set and more promotion and more buzz in here in the United States, you probably might look at Bob Arum, the top rank, in a fight between Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires, man. But the Manny Pacquiao sweepstakes is alive and well. It'll be interesting to see what will be his next opponent. You got M.Garcia behind the promotional company of Matchroom Boxing and Eddie Hearn trying to secure a fight with Manny Pacquiao. And you got Bob Arum with Top Rank Boxing along with ESPN trying to set up a fight with Terrence Bud Crawford, one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in boxing. That's another feather in their cap too. If Manny Pacquiao was able to defeat Terrence Crawford, that might put a real strong debate as far as Manny Pacquiao having a greater legacy than Floyd Mayweather. Right now, Floyd Mayweather has the greater legacy in my opinion. But a win over Terrence Bud Crawford, that would be like LeBron James winning another NBA championship and the debate saying that he's better than Michael Jordan. If he gets the fourth ring, he'll have a stronger argument. That's the same thing with Manny Pacquiao. He defeats Terrence Crawford. He have a strong argument of being having a greater legacy and being ranked higher than Floyd Mayweather, despite the loss to Floyd Mayweather. He have a stronger argument. Not to say I believe in that argument. He would have a stronger argument saying that he should be ranked higher as an all-time great than Floyd Mayweather Jr. A win over Michael Garcia. You know, it'll be a good win, and it'll keep another big fight alive and another big payday alive. They'll keep that going. They keep that train going down that track. But it would do really nothing for his legacy. It would not, strengthen his argument as being the fighter of the decade or being having a greater legacy than Floyd Mayweather Jr. It would do nothing as far as that goes. But it would be a win. And it'll set up another higher profile fight after that victory over Michael Garcia. Michael Garcia is coming off a win over Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas in that fight was very competitive in the first half of the fight. Very competitive. I actually gave Jesse Vargas a slight edge in the first half of that fight, maybe the first 6 rounds. But Michael Garcia turned out to be the harder puncher, the stronger puncher, which was surprising considering the fact that Jesse Vargas had fought at junior middleweight and went into that fight as a much bigger guy, as Michael Garcia had came up from, fighting as low as lightweight a year ago and coming up to 135 a year ago when he fought Robert Easter Jr., coming up to 147 in his second fight. In the first fight, he looked like he couldn't deal with the athleticism, the size, and the skill of Errol Spence Jr., and a lot of people were saying he needed to move back down, but he actually came into that fight and showed that he was a harder puncher. And he was able to drop Jesse Vargas, and his power was really the difference in that fight. And he was able to win a unanimous, a close decision over Jesse Vargas. So that fight will be very, very entertaining, though, between Manny Pacquiao and Mikey Garcia. That fight would be reminiscent of Manny Pacquiao versus Juan Manuel Marquez. His style is very similar to Juan Manuel Marquez. He's a timing fighter. Manny Pacquiao likes to rush in. He will be looking to time and catch Manny Pacquiao coming in with counters. And he's a guy that's very good at timing fighter, one of the best timing fighters in boxing. Guy with a high IQ, got a good jab. So it would be a very, very good fight. The problem is with Manny Garcia, he's kind of a slow starter. He's a little bit of a slow starter. So he could be finding himself behind early in that fight. And like he did in the Jesse Vargas fight, he was behind in that fight. Not as bad behind, but he was behind in that fight early on. And that could be a problem against Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is a guy that comes out guns blazing. He doesn't try to feel his way in the fight. He's in a attack mode from round one on, and that could be a problem for Manny Garcia, who is a patient fighter. He's a guy that's trying to study his opponent, figure it out, take his time, and then then starts to adjust to his opponent. By that time, he could be well behind in that fight with Manny Pacquiao. So that's something that can consider. And it would be a very, very interesting fight, a very, very entertaining fight, just like the Terrence Crawford fight. So either way it goes, it would be a good fight. Boxing fans couldn't complain that much, but the Terrence Crawford fight is more rewarding if you get the victory. It's going to do more for Manny Pacquiao's legacy and Manny Pacquiao's career if he defeats Terrence Crawford compared to if he defeats Manny Garcia, because he'll be the favorite to beat Mikey. He will be the underdog against Terrence Crawford. Again, if he's able to pull that off, he will. Manny Pactards, they're going to come out in big numbers, big waves, saying that he's a greater fighter in comparison to Floyd Mayweather Jr. And they will have a strong argument if he's able to defeat, to me, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in boxing, Terrence Crawford. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Manny Pacquiao versus Terrence Crawford or Manny Pacquiao versus Manny Garcia. Which fight you think he should take next? Let me know what you think in the comment section. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I'll holla.